Today, Minister Kahlon introduced legislation to support the creation of InBC, a new strategic investment fund that will be focused on anchoring our tech sector, life sciences, green tech, and other industry innovators who are looking for capital to either scale up or to anchor here in British Columbia. We'll be representing the values that are important to British Columbians with a triple bottom line focused on people, planet, and profit, making strategic investments to make sure that the intellectual property, the ideas that are being grown in our post-secondary institutions and in our industrial sectors can stay here. And we've looked around the world at other jurisdictions and we've tried to do our level best to manage and monitor what's happening there so that we can build a better program here in British Columbia. For those who've been paying attention, of course, you'll know that we started talking about InBC back in September when we announced our Stronger BC plan, which was focused primarily on getting through the pandemic. Today's announcement is about where do we go from here? How do we make sure that BC's innovators can use InBC to put down those roots, to help with startups, to help with scale-ups, and most importantly, to send a message to the world in multiple sectors that British Columbia is a place to come, put down roots, and to attract the talent we're going to need to meet the challenges of the 21st century. The post-pandemic world will be unlike the world that we entered into 14 months ago. But we do know that BC has strategic advantages in a number of areas, and InBC is designed to make sure that we can take advantage of those strategic positions that we had pre-pandemic and will be stronger coming out of the pandemic. The investment decisions of InBC will be made by the Chief Investment Officer, who will report to a board of directors, the majority of which will come from the private sector. The focus will be on creating and maintaining jobs and growing that innovative sector, whatever it might be, that will attach to the values that British Columbians hold dear. Focusing on climate action and decarbonizing our economy, making sure that the intellectual capacity of British Columbia can be harnessed and anchored here in British Columbia. Too often in the past, the good ideas that have come from our post-secondary institutions have migrated to other jurisdictions for a host of reasons. We want to stem that flow of brain power out of British Columbia and encourage more people to come in the days and weeks and months ahead. InBC is fashioned after the Irish and Danish model. We consulted widely internationally, and Ravi advised me that there was a briefing this morning, 260 invitations around the world, 213 logged in to hear what's going on in BC. We're pretty excited about this, and I know that there'll be a number of questions. We have some validators from industry who will be speaking after me, and I just want to say I want to lift my hands to Minister Kahlon and his entire team for doing what governments don't always do, and that is focus on the possible rather than what's right in front of them. We have, as a province, been absolutely focused on getting through COVID-19. Now we want to look forward to that world without COVID-19, where innovators can look to British Columbia as the place that they want to come and put down roots. I'm very excited about today. It's the beginning of a new future for British Columbia, and I'll pass the microphone back to Minister Kahlon, and we'll go from here for the rest of the program.
Thank you so much, Premier. And InBC is a game changer. And I want to thank the hundreds of business and industry leaders who've provided their expert advice and guidance on this very important initiative for BC. I would now like to invite Dr. Wal van Leeurup, Executive Chairman of Crystal X Venture Capital, to speak about the opportunities the Strategic Investment Fund can create. Doctor?
Thank you, Minister. Well, I congratulate the government of British Columbia for launching InBC. This is a bold step towards creating a low-carbon society and an internationally renowned technology sector in our province. BC is well positioned to help transform the global economy to become carbon-free by 2050, as many aspire. We have a talented, diverse workforce developing world-class innovations in decarbonization. We're also strong in digital technology, fusion energy, hydrogen and fuel cells, life sciences, regenerative agriculture, and water management. Together, we can propel BC towards net zero, while at the same time leading our traditional mining, forestry, and natural gas industries into the green economy. Every industry needs to become green and digital. A lack of, in particular, scale-up capital held BC back from achieving its full potential. InBC will be a significant driver to close this funding gap in our province, and it will position our most promising startups to grow into winners. Too often, they felt that they had to relocate abroad or seek foreign investors to grow, or foreign acquirers. Now, the 500 million InBC Strategic Investment Fund gives our local innovation champions an opportunity to scale at home and compete globally. And there is a unique opportunity to further grow the fund to a much bigger size, possibly as large as $2 billion, by leveraging private Canadian and international investments. InBC signals to the world that our province is not just a beachhead for established companies, but rather a global innovation center for the future of industry. That is a multi-trillion-dollar global opportunity, and actively participating in that will help create good-paying jobs, desirable social services, and wealth for the future of British Columbians. The creation of InBC marks an inflection point for our province. Once more, chapeau to the BC government for launching this important fund.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Van Leeuwen. I appreciate your time and your comments today. I would now like to ask Wendy Hulbert to share her thoughts on InBC, how it can help foster job creation and provide opportunities for promising new companies. Wendy?
Thank you very much. I'm so pleased to be here today to be part of this exciting announcement. Firstly, I'd like to applaud Premier Horgan, Minister Kahlon, and the BC government on taking this bold step of launching the InBC Fund. On behalf of the life sciences sector, we couldn't be more pleased. BC is home to Canada's fastest growing life sciences sector, with a dynamic and world-class community comprised of almost 2,000 companies employing roughly 20,000 people and growing. The sector offers tremendous potential for exponential growth and foundational support for the BC economic recovery, and will continue to deliver innovation, attract investment, and create high-paying jobs. Over the last year, well, it's been an interesting year, as we all know. BC Life Sciences innovation has been at the forefront of developing solutions to address the COVID-19 challenges that were faced. From vaccine development to therapeutics, ventilators, screening tools, the COVID-19 assessment app, all of these have had BC innovation at the forefront of the development of these solutions. We have a long history of discovery in British Columbia through our world-class research and academic institutions who continue to attract talent from the rest of the world. But where we've struggled is in scaling companies. We have the great ideas, and as has already been said, sometimes those ideas either get exported or we struggle with scaling them. The InBC Fund will play an important role in enabling growth, supporting startups, helping promising BC businesses scale up, and continue to attract and develop talent in our province. All of this is going to be for the benefit of all of our British Columbians that we live with. Following the principles of innovation, inclusion, and sustainability, the InBC Fund will create an important competitive advantage for businesses and for the BC life sciences sector and other sectors, as has already been mentioned. We look forward to working with InBC to further expand the life sciences sector and enhance BC's resilience to future health challenges, and ultimately ensuring both our health and economic security. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wendy. Thank you for your comments and representing Life Sciences BC. And we're certainly proud of the role Life Science BC has played in this pandemic and also in the economic impact it has in our province. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. I would now like to ask Greg Davion from the BC Business Council of BC to the podium to speak about how InBC can support further growth in the business sector. So over to you, Greg.
Well, thanks so much, Minister, for including me today. I'm delighted to be here today to participate in this announcement, a bold initiative that's going to enable us to leap into the digital economy of the 21st century, as Wal and Wendy alluded to. I want to congratulate you, Premier, you, Minister Kahlon, your colleagues, and also government staff that thoughtfully listened, collaborated, and then led on this bold initiative moving forward to smartly build in BC. And why I say smartly is that it's been done in a way that actually sought out advice of expertise and also the marketplace to help inform what capital markets need to leverage and participate in exciting new firms' investments, and also those firms that are growing and scaling, and so that we can retain them here in British Columbia. Before the pandemic, all of us were experiencing technology over the decades that was moving increasingly and exponentially faster and faster. And what we've seen during COVID is that much of that technology in our lives and the way we work and the way we educate ourselves is accelerated by as much as a decade. And so the consequence of that is that we're not only going to need as businesses the solutions that Wal and Wendy talked about, but also governments will need the technology and the new innovation to help us not just survive, but to thrive going forward. And our country, as Wal alluded to, and specifically BC specifically, is home to some of the most creative and entrepreneurial people that you find anywhere. They're in every part of our province, and they are relentlessly developing novel, globally relevant, and impactful game-changing solutions, products, and discoveries. We've seen that with BC's mRNA technology that is embedded today in the vaccines and therapeutics that are literally saving global lives. For decades, we've punched far above our weight as a country and as a province, generating ideas and then those concepts and taking them to early stage. But what we failed, as Wal and other speakers have alluded to, is that we often fail to support those companies as they go through the critical stages of growth and change, and ultimately supporting the firms, their ideas, and the people in the innovation and solutions to stay here in our country and in our province. The result is that growth and commercialization is often sold, or it moves elsewhere to be nurtured on the needs that it has. And this happens to our collective detriment, and often British Columbians and Canadians buy those ideas and products back at retail rather than having the opportunity to adopt them early in the development of the design. But what it means is far more important to our province. The phenomenon means that we lose generational talent with promise and with ambition. High-wage jobs, the opportunity for Indigenous populations to fully participate in our economy, increased productivity, trade revenues, investments, taxes, and the secondary research and innovation that comes from them that creates new spin-offs, new clusters, and new opportunities at scale. When we have supported these firms and these ideas and people, we've led globally. These leadership clusters in BC include gaming, FX, animation, and virtual reality now being used in almost every sector of the economy. We've also seen it in our low-carbon natural resources and energy offers to the world. Increasing new areas of high demand that BC really does lead in, as Wendy talked about, in quantum computing, IoT and sensors, life sciences and agri-tech. And the aggregate is an opportunity to attract ESG capital, but also to leverage global capital and talent as we grow those businesses out. And there's several factors that are going to help us retain those firms and scale them to be world-class. A lot of them are endemic and those that we still have to work on. We have world-class universities, technology schools, and design post-secondary institutions. The right policies to retain IP are things that we need to work on, encouraging innovation, adoption, and higher levels of productivity that raise wages and opportunity. And to do that through a diverse and collective stream of great talent that we have in a resident in our province. But one of the most important things that InBC addresses today is the need for those firms to stay in British Columbia, to have access to capital at various stages of their development in a variety of forms. They need it as they grow, evolve, pivot, compete, and at speed commercialize their products and services to the world to be truly successful. I have little doubt that the spirit of collaboration with common purpose at speed through InBC will make a difference. This fund will help be a key propellant to aid in the liftoff of many BC companies today and those that will come tomorrow into the 21st century and our digital low-carbon economy. In doing so, it's also going to inspire the next generation of British Columbians that dream about being Jimmy Pattison, or dream about Wendy MacDonald, or Shahrazad Rafati, or Dr. Carl Hansen, or Chief Counselor Crystal Smith, making a difference through the companies and the products that they develop. Looking ahead, I believe InBC will be an important tool to help scale up globally impactful British Columbia businesses that establish thriving clusters of innovation and tackle some of the world's biggest challenges, and the opportunity to lift up our existing economy and people here at home for the prosperity of our province. So thank you very much for the lead and the development of InBC.